Hey, this week I want to share a little bit of practice that I've been doing for many, many years. Gosh, if this was back, I think I learned this in 1989. Actually, that's how long ago. Oh my goodness, I'm dating myself. Anyway, but I learned this over 30 years ago from some of my teachers when I was studying Chinese bodywork therapies and Chinese medicine. I was studying out in California back in the day. Back in that time, I think there were 2 Chinese medicine schools in the country. Can you imagine? There are so many now, but I was so fortunate. I was living in San Francisco back at that time, and I had just like wonderful teachers, and there were like 2 yoga studios in the whole Bay Area back then too. I mean, it was a really different time. The New Age, well, there were probably a few more than 2, but there weren't much. But the New Age had, was really like in full blown, full throttle at that time. So there were crystal shops everywhere, and New Age bookshops were the thing. And I was just interested in I wanted to study everything. I was like going to goddess worshiping ceremonies, and I was studying acupressure, and I was studying Chinese medicine, and I was studying some of these Chinese healing arts. So that's my background of where it came from. And so I never saw any reason, as I started to study more and more yoga, I never saw any reason to leave these practices behind, because they're just a quick hop over the mountains and you're into China. And, the tradition talks about like sage Vashista. Did you ever hear about Vashista? You think about Vashista as like side plank, but actually Vashista was considered one of the great ancient yogis, ancient preceptors. And one of the things that he did was he traveled back and forth between China and India, sharing the wisdom. So like this has happened from ancient times. It's not a strange thing, I don't think, to bring these things into yoga practice. I think it's very natural. So Douyin is the name of this practice, which means I'm not sure what it means in Chinese actually, but what it is about self-massage. And you can do Douyin. I just find Douyin really fun. Like it's a great thing to do at the beginning of practice if you're feeling a little anxious. It's a great thing to put into your practice, or if you're feeling like kind of keyed up and you want it to calm down a little bit. It's also just good if you have sore muscles. So basically there are 3 hand positions that work really well for Douyin. One is the hammer fingers. It's a lot of tapping. So hammer fingers like this. That's a good one. Another one is the slapping hand like this, slapping. And it's just a gentle slap. And then the third one I like is floppy fist. Floppy fist. Good here. So I'm sorry if I'm making some noise in my microphone with doing this, but would you like to try it with me? It'll take us about 3 or 4 minutes to do some Douyin. So, and you could do it for 20 minutes if you wanted to, right? So we'll start with the hammer fingers on the head, and you're going to do circles around the hemispheres. Don't worry about the hairdo. You can also just tap in the right at the top of your head. That's a nice one. It's also nice to tap the forehead, especially third eye, so getting the chakras there. And tapping the cheekbones, jaw muscles. Sorry, I'm making noise in my mic. But the finger, especially the hammer fingers, are really good for the face and the head. This is a great one to do as a little break from the computer. You don't even have to stand up, right? And then back of the neck, it's nice to do. We can use our little hammer fingers there too. And also throat. I'm just going to do the upper body Douyin today. Maybe next week I'll do the other patterns another time. Remind me if I forget, okay? And then the next part we'll do is the lines of energy. So these are called your yin meridians. They start here in the chest and they go down the arm. And then the yang meridians go up the back of the arm around here to the head, right? So we're going to floppy fist down the inside, or the yin side, if you want to remember, and then up the yang side, or the outside. So down the yin side, up the yang side. Now, if you want, get in there. Give it some energy. Give it to me. Right? Give it some energy. If you're like, I don't like that, try the little bit of slapping hand. That can feel nice too. Okay, and then once you've done that side, then give your shoulder a nice pounding, a gentle pounding. a compassionate pounding, but give it some pounding. Okay, so then it's really nice, because I'm so into interoceptive awareness, to stop and go, oh, radiant sensations, and this side feels different, right? So it's nice to check it out, like what was the effect? Okay, then we're going to go down the inside on the other arm and up the outside, the young side. So down the inside, up the outside, or the young side. And I'm using floppy fist here, but you could easily do this with the slapping hand, right? You can even do it with the hammer fingers. You could do any of those things you like. You give it a little more energy if you want. I like the hand one there. And then up the back. We'll do one more round of those. Isn't this great? Like, you could totally do this sitting in your chair, and it kind of wakes you up, changes your energy. And every time I do it, I go, why don't I do this every day? Because it feels so good. It's so simple and it feels so good. Okay, back there a little bit, the shoulder. Then we'll finish up with Tarzan. Make some noise on your exhale. And then, oh, I like to end with brushing too. Brushing is nice. Brush things off. Okay, good to go? All right, so then just pause for a moment again and just notice those radiant sensations. So I have been teaching, this is one of the things I taught today in the Subtle Yoga Resilience Society, which is my weekly membership group. We have spent the whole month, the whole unit, every month is a new unit. So we spent this whole unit working with trauma integration and how yoga can help. And we talked a lot about scope of practice and, professional therapy and stuff, and then yoga as a adjunctive or a complementary or supportive modality to help with whatever licensed professional care that you're also getting for trauma. So I hope this was fun. Next week, I'll try and remember to do the lower half of the body. Remind me if I forget. And I'll see you around. Thank you. Bye.